Hello, welcome to the Light Read, our weekly summary of the news in lighting, brought to you this week by Keystone's general purpose decorative LED. So these got that filament style, old school. I know some people like them for a bunch of different things, but if you've got a chandelier, that's probably great. These come in frosted and clear lenses, which I don't see much. Keystone, of course, 75 years in the business, light made easy. Get into the news. UL releases a design guideline for circadian lighting. This is actually 12 years coming, and you would not believe how fiddly that is. I mean, if you're playing the home game with me, this is probably going to get superseded fairly quick, but if you're day active, this is probably still useful for you. Jaga has announced the details of their next summit. It's going to be going alongside the LED Professional Symposium in Austria this September. IES Progress Report is now available. That's 72 new products that get their thumbs up. How about that? Congrats to all the winners. Dr. John Klein, he's a sleep researcher at Harvard. He writes for Psychology Today, and he wrote a nice little breakdown on a bunch of different studies weighing hazards and benefits for blue light. Check that out. SLD Laser, they're getting into Li-Fi. So this is Nakamura's company, and while most Li-Fi is running on LEDs, this is going to run on lasers, so it's 20 times faster. Great stuff. I like my internet to go fast, don't you? The global filament bulb market is set to expand. Still, filament bulbs, they're getting bigger. Utilities and telcos are feuding over 5G streetlights, so lampposts are a handy way to put a bunch of these tiny little transmitters all over the place. A lot of poles aren't, good enough to keep them standing, though, so there's a bit of there's some kerfuffle in the legal world as to who owes who for what and who's responsible for infrastructure. Rutgers U calls for coloration standards in greenhouse LEDs, so they're doing a study trying to find the ideal frequencies for indoor horticulture. Good luck. Thomas Watt Pro Lighting debuts first lamp to aid dyslexics. Now that's lighting that can actually help someone. The merger process between Standard Products and Stan Pro lighting systems is now complete. They're just going to go by Stan Pro now, which I didn't realize that hadn't already happened, but they've got a new website. Get a Grip on Lighting, episode 117. They talk to a philosopher. It's a little different than some of the other shows, but I think if you do a lot of outdoor work, if you're concerned about what we're doing with bulbs, I think this is a bit of a head. This one gives you something to chew on, a little more to think on than maybe your average episode. Lightfair is now taking registrations. Signify, they're shuffling their board around. CFO has stepped down, and the board is looking to add new people, including reappointing their old CEO, Eric Rondelat. Jason Bader, we know that guy. He's great. He's written on commodity versus custom lighting solutions. He's also talking about smart energy. They've released a survey saying that IoT adoption is driven by the cool factor, although there are a quarter of people who do believe it'll save them energy in the long run. I don't think that's how that works. More stuff tends to draw more power, even if it turns your lights off for you. Sapphire Awards finalists, so these are 17 different lighting categories. These will be announced in February at Strategies in Light. Wesco, not to be outdone by some PE guys, will be raising their bid on Annixter to $97 per share. ATG LED, this is a new company spinning off of ATG Electronics. They've got a 53,000 square foot headquarters. They've added distribution in Salt Lake City and Phoenix. Hubble has added a new rep agency for Central Ohio that includes Columbus, so keep your eyes out if you're in that area. Bluetooth smart lighting market, that's going to grow by 16% over the next 5 years. Smart cities and Asians are driving that plan. ATG again, they've joined NEMRA because they're new and they're big. They're pushing hard, but they'll be even be attending the conference at the end of the month. There will be 30 million smart street lamps by 2023. That's 40% of all poles on the planet will be smart in 3 years. That's what Berg Insight says. RGF rolls out the first ever UV LED air purifier. I might want one of these in my house. I don't think it's for residential, but I want one in my house. Z Energy, they're a lighting solutions provider. I don't know if they're members. They should be, but they just got a big contract for a retail chain that has not been named, but they are going to be retrofitting 518 storefronts over the next 3 years. Pierce County is going dark. They've got a dark sky compliance enforced by the U.S. Air Force. Apparently, street lamps can really mess with your nighttime helicopter drills. ATG again, naming a rep agency in California. This is California Lighting Sales. They'll be covering the Central Coast, San Diego, and SoCal. California again plans $9.8 million in facilities retrofits. These are public offices in Oakland and San Francisco, HVAC and lighting efficiency upgrades. Link Labs, Fight Electric are going to share patents. They're both LED manufacturers, and they're going to develop some new tech. We'll see how that shakes out over a few years. UV LEDs, that marketplace is going to be worth $1.2 billion by 2026. We can use light to burn germs. That sounds so cool. Also frightening, but cool. BJ Take partners with Interlight Sales. So this is my neck of the woods, I guess. Ontario LED high bay manufacturer signs with a rep agency for BC and the Yukon Territory. Report on e-commerce capability of LED lighting brands. So this is Friedland Enterprises. They did a little digging, and of 214 LED lighting brands, only about a quarter have websites that sell you things, and only 56% have search engine result pages. I think one of those might help us a little more than the other. Chuck Swadoba, he's an author now. He used to be Cree's CEO, but now he's getting into writing nonfiction. So The Innovator's Spirit is up for pre-order. Might be good. Might be good to have him on the show. That's a thing I should do. Climate impact as sales pitch. So this is Rob Day writing for Forbes about how more and more stakeholders are trying to set climate goals, and here's how you can leverage that to sell something. Acuity posts quarterly earnings, and their stock is down. Yeah, their sales took a real hit, and their stock price took a hit with it. Page One Lighting Group partners with Luxury Products Group. So Page One makes high-end fixtures, and now they're going to be in 440 high-end showrooms. Good for them. January 10th was Natural Cut Your Energy Costs Day, or Friday, whatever you want to call it, because it feels like I don't think there's a waste energy day. 3 Rhode Island towns are going to bid collectively for street lab projects. So Lincoln, Smithfield, and Woonsocket are negotiating as a group to flip to LED on streetlights. Speaking of flipping to LED on switch lights, Guelph is $1 million over budget on their conversion because they didn't check the wiring on 1,000 lampposts. Be careful. Be careful. Collier Webb celebrates 40th anniversary. That's a bespoke lighting and furniture manufacturer. Has been on the go for 350,000 hours. Lupel, this is in Dumb Things from CES News, Lupel has debuted a desk lamp that if it sees you looking tired, will flash blue lights at you to keep you alert. Thanks, I hate it. SpaceX tests dark sky compliant satellites. So these are 60 low-orbit internet broadcasting satellites that have been treated with a low reflective coating for the good of stargazers everywhere. I actually kind of like spotting satellites more than I like spotting stars. Does that make me weird? Either way. Probably not for me. All right, and as for the revolving door, Terry O'Toole is retiring as CEO of Nodeon, which means Chris Stockton is going to leave Hubble for that job, and then Tom Benton is going to get bumped up to Chris's job as VP and GM for commercial and industrial lighting at Hubble. Neil Ash has been appointed president and CEO at Acuity. Rich Matthews has been named regional sales VP for the Central Region in commercial and industrial lighting at, once again, ATG. ATG gets the taken over the show thing, the show award. I was expecting CES to do that. We'll see about next week. In the meantime, Again, join Nailed, sign up for LS1, and do the YouTube thing. Like if you like it, share if you really like it, leave a comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do other things. This is a new channel. It needs a little more love than some of the more established stuff we do. But until next week, this has been the Light Read Read. Have a great day. Brought to you by Keystone.